Hello friends, welcome. Today we will be going to learn on a new topic which is organizing information. Even it is a part of an UX design which is very important. So what are the data you get which needs to be organized. So in this we'll be learning many things. So let's take a look. Let's have a look what is all we are going to cover in this lesson. First, organizing information. About organizing information and what is organizing information. We'll cover all the things over here. Next, we'll see what are the ways to organize information. Then we'll see wearing the five helmets example. Then hierarchy of principle, hierarchy patterns. Then we'll conclude on the topic. Let's go one by one. What does all they mean? We'll start with from organizing information. Well, like whenever you collect the data through the interviews or surveys or by observing any people or by observing any website, you get huge data. So in this, you should know how to organize the entire information because whatever you get the data, it gets a multiple data which are important, which are non-important. So you should know how it can be manageable. So let's see what is all how it can be done. It says that it is essential for our designs to show well organized information so the user can understand easily what is shown. It is a key to providing a good UX. Content in any digital page layout will follow a specific hierarchy. Headers appears above body text. Menus go at the top, bottom, left or right of the screen or any combination of this. Designers try to organize content so that they present the highest priority content on any given page first. Then they deliver the rest of the content from highest to lowest priorities. Yes, every data has its primary and the secondary priorities, which is a high priority and a low priority. Hierarchy is simple, a nicer way of saying organized from most to least important. We also use hierarchy to show relationships where relationships exist between content blocks. Users define the visual hierarchy of a website or an application. The item that first grabs the eye's attention is at the top of the hierarchy. Each item that next drawn attention is subordinate to the one before it. So usually whatever is put on a design or whatever the data we put on a screen, it should be related, next data should be related to nearby whatever it comes up. So the data matters when we keep or align to each other. Let's go next. What are the ways of organizing information? Like among many ways of showing data, one had stood the test of time and proves to the best be efficient even today. It is called pie-hat racks. So this example has been taken from the internet, so you can get in the internet also. I had taken this to explain how it has been used. So let us see how it goes on. So the concept of the pie-hat racks was originally developed by Richard Saul Verman in his book Information Anxiety. Later he wrote the book Information Architecture, where he redefined the five-hat racks concept to from the latch principle. Information may be infinity, however, the organization of information is finity, as it can only be organized by latchy, which stands for location, alphabet, time, category, or hierarchy, or you can say continuism. It has been said in 1996 The idea is that there are 5 ways to organize all information. In the end, it about answering the user question is a clear way. Avoid organizing information just for the sake of making pretty graphs that don't contain answer. I have tried 1,000 times to find another way to organize, but I always end up using one of these 5 things. So let's take a look how these 5 things can be managed or how this can be used. Let's go one by one. First is location. Organizing information by its location. It can be physically or conceptual. Spatial location. For example, when designing a particular service, we should consider the location of different goods and how they will be distributed. Designing supermarkets service is a good example of organizing information in physical location. Let's take an example. Now, let's see what is that. We humans have evolved to organize location to this way in our daily lives. From using map for navigating and war strategies to placing our ingredient in the kitchen. Location organizing is important when the information has multiple different sources and locals. As I said the example, let's take a look one more example. Like Pokemon Go is a good example of app that organize information by location. I hope many of them you had played this. Now you can take a look if you get it. In the digital world, organizing by location plays important role too, triggering specific UI interaction and notification based on location. For example, think of GPS and any app that helps with orientation and finding direction. Remember, reminders and others features that promotes you to act based on physical location. Also, with the rise of VR or AR technologies, organizing information based on location is becoming a very important aspect of information architecture. Now, another example, if I like to take, you had been using a lot of cab services application, which gives a very good example of a location. So it shows you where the car is, or where the exact you are, or where you need to get dropped, or how far the car is, or where you are exactly located. So there are many things. Next, when to use way of locations. Use it when the relative position of the information you want to present is important. Then, when giving directions or the prioritize, what is the most relevant thing to be in reach? In combination with the time organizing of information, we can show the needed answer to the user in most convenient way. Yeah, let's move to the next, which is alphabet. As the name suggests, ordering information alphabetically is a great way to provide random access to data. It is one of the best ways to organize information when the amount of data is big. For example, in your mobiles, like you will be having a contact details which has been organized through A to Z. So this has been taken as an example from the internet. The word dictionary or the big phone book, be in a digital or a physical, we all have used them and know that as long as the user is familiar with the alphabet, this method of organizing the data is effectively. Let's see when to use way of alphabet. When the information is When the information is referential in nature, that is dictionary, encyclopedias, books, index, etc. When efficiency, nonlinear access to specific items is required, it is also a good fallback when the information can't be sorted with another method. Yes, this was all about the alphabet. Let's see next, which is time. This type of organizing information is probably the most used one by humans. We like thinking about and putting events in linear fashion. Time is a great way to categorize events that have happened over fixed time duration. Organizing by time allows for changes to be easily observed and comparisons to be made. It's the best way to document history since we humans perceive time in a linear way. For example, calendar and meetings schedules, email inbox, project plans, the enjoyable Facebook timeline, order list, e-commerce platform, messaging apps, and many more. For example, we can see the screenshots of a mobile which is a weather shows on a time basis. When to use way of timing times. When presenting and or comparison events over fixed time duration, when you want to communicate a time-based sequence by step-by-step procedure, organizing the information by time when you need to give instruction or when you need to document events in chronological order. Yes, this is all about a time way to use. Next, we are going to category. When the information needs to be stored by similarity or relatedness, using category in the best way to organize it. This method of organizing information used across the physical and digital world from shopping goods and industries to categorize on Pinterest and hashtags on Twitter. Grouping things together into categories makes it easier for the user to find the general type of information as long as they know what they are looking for. It is a great method when combined with the alphabet 1. We could argue that our brain works in similar way. We like grouping similar things together. By knowingly or unknowingly, we usually do organize the data. If you see on this example, like it's on a website or it's on a website where it gives the data into the category wise. Now we tell the human to choose an category, what kind of things you are looking for. As per the need, he gets the output. Let's see when two ways of using categories. This method works well to organize items of similar importance. If we have indication that people will naturally seek out information by category, we can use information organized by category to suggest completing features or products to increase discoverability. We should keep in mind that people don't always group things the same way, especially true when the properties of an information are overlapping several categories. For example, if we take our Bluetooth speaker, which is water resistant and can be used in the shower, what category should it go in? Accessories or audio? Definitely, it goes into the audio category. Make sure the user tests the terms that define the category and if they make sense for your users. Another potential problem with organizing information into categories is the size. The bigger the information, the more likely it is that there will be subcategories or subcategories. Having this will make finding the information difficult. Make sure not to create too many subcategories. If the way of finding the information is by clicking on each individual category and subcategory. So I hope you got to know how to the way of using categories. Let's see next, which is hierarchy. When the information can be organized by comparing things across a common measure, if the information needs to be organized by magnitude. For example, small to large, lowest to highest, happy to unhappy, and etc. Star ratings on service and products, score tables, efficiency, size, and more. For example, take a look. Like we keep this size wise, right? If there is a t-shirt, then we keep male or female, a size, first we choose a size, a pattern, then we put it them into the a multiple category wise. Let's see when to use or the way of hierarchies. Use a hierarchy way of organizing information when there is a shared measurement that you can use to compare things. You can empathize the information by visually manipulating the sizes or color of how the information is shown. Yeah, with the colors information or by the comparison of the measurements. And these are the way of when to use the hierarchy. Next, wearing the 5 hats. Using more than one hat at a time is the best way to organize the information you want to use to answer the user's questions. Mixing category with alphabetically order items using time and location to organize memorable events. You can use all 5 hats if needed to give flexibility of how the information is served. Allowing multiple ways to view the data is something many users accept to have in today's digital world. To do that, we need to wear the 5 hats and use them the best way we can use it. Let's see some hierarchy principle. The way we pursue information is affected by several factors that contribute to how we rank the hierarchy of the content within the layout. Jones 2011 showed that the factors that affect hierarchy includes 1. Size. The larger the element, the more attention it will attract compared to smaller elements. Think of a newspaper headline. The newspaper uses the large fonts header text to single what the rest of the text in smaller font will deliver. Let's take a hypothetical breaking story. Your eye should go right to the heading. Notice how it dominates you to find out what it's about. The human eye perceives information visually rather than as block of data. Unlike computers, we are at the mercy of our eyes' natural tendency. The reading material you likely encountered as young children features many pictures and larger print. Whether these are with comics, coloring books, or storybooks, we should take it when was going on because we perceive the illustrations and interpreted the sequences of events alongside the easy to read text. As size, larger element will dominate and catches eyesight on first priority. Then let's move to the color. Like brighter colors are more likely to draw attention than dark shades. We have probably all used a highlighter to mark outstanding points on a photocopy's handout. Yellow is richer and brighter than white, in the sense that white is more muted, so it stands out. After bright colors, richer and darker ones will grab the eye attention. Lighter things follow because they seem more washed out and distant. At the bottom of the color hierarchy are the gray cycle or muted. Substitute colors. Think of a fog day and you are trying to find out friends. On wearing a high-fi vest, he will stand out first. The one in a deep burgundy trench coat will stand out next. Someone wearing a cream-colored long coat, she will be harder to spot. You meet up with each other and start talking, asking where Jim is. Unfortunately, Jim is wearing a smoky grey hoodie and matching sweatpant. He see you all already thoughts. So that's why the color matters a lot. So color choosing is a huge theory. So if you go through the color theory, you'll get to know. You'll be learning that into the UI designing. Next is a contrast. Dynamically contrasting colors will catch the eye more than slightly contrasting colors. Contrast helps you show what more important is in your design. Everything is relatively. Imagine you want to make a design based on an architect's plan for high-rise apartment blocks. You want to show the light, eco-friendly building above ground, but you also need to show the strong, deep foundation and underground park of cars below. By driving your design in this way, you will draw the eye to the cheesy living features of the forest side apartment. This plays off against the lower section, the footer where you are showing the utility and safety side of the structure. A little hierarchy goes a long way to enhancing the user. Next, it is about alignment. Alignment can create order between design elements. For example, placing content and then a slide bar column creates a priority for the reader. We accept important information such as login button or menu to be in the top right hand corner of a page. We also see this at work in magazines. If you are near one, why not flick through? Look out for a pull quote that's part of, say, an interview. where the writer wants to highlight what the subject said with its larger font and its break with the alignment of the other text. It makes a hierarchy that draws out our eyes. Next is repetition. Like repeating styles can give the viewers a sense that content is related. For example, you have presented most of the text in many documents in a similar fashion. If we broke that style, say by using red text, it could quickly draw attention from the familiar surrounding. Your work did not it. What if we did it again? Another good example is hyperlinks. When you visit a page that has a lot of blue words underlined, you know right word that you can click to a lot of other page. So they are you know that they are the hyperlinks. So you can click on it and it takes to a new pages. So you'll figure out like they take us to the new page. Next, proximity. Like how closely we place design elements to each other tells our users how likely they are to be related. In our list, we have separated items with a single row of white space. We don't separate headers in this lesson from the first paragraph of information. This proximity shows that list items are separate through not so much as to be completed unrelated to each other, but the headers are related to the content that follows. Next, white space. You can use this space around content. It can be any color, not just white, to draw attention to certain pieces of content. Imagine how much work you could have worked without it. It does two jobs. It makes information easier for the eye to digest, and it lets the eye zero in on each area of information. Paras in this case. Next, texture and style. The use of textures and styles can help prioritize content too. Like fonts, they can set the tone of the design. Imagines a pair of projects. Two traveler agent want a landing page to show their resort package deals. One is beach theme, one lake theme. From the beach theme resort, we presents a background close-up view of a clear water overlaying beautiful white sand. The effect was pleasing. However, when we tried repeating that with the lake, we found that the crystal clear water gave us a lot of large, dark precipes and stones. The texture ends up being too distracting because it was far more textured than the smooth sand. So these are the things which you need 8 things of hierarchicals include. So keep this in mind to organize the data. By using this principle, you can organize your data well and stylish. So let's see what's next. Hierarchy patterns. In the Western world, we read designs according to two common hierarchy patterns. One is Z pattern and one is F pattern hierarchy. Eye-catching designs need psychology. There are common patterns for hierarchy both on the printed page and for the digital pages. These patterns are based on the movements that our eye tends to make when presented with a fresh page. English, for example, is read from left to right. English readers have a set scanning patterns when facing a page of text. Arabic readers have a different pattern. Why? Because Arabic is read from right to left. It's important to understand how your audience process information before adopting a hierarchy pattern. Let's see what Z pattern hierarchy is. In website with a low level of text content, example, website that acts as small advertisement for a business or a product rather than delivering volume of information. The Z pattern of eye scanning is common. And next, the F pattern hierarchy. Designers usually apply the F pattern on website that includes text heavy content and or video content. Let's see an example. If you see on a website which is a Z pattern and below which is an F pattern. So from Z pattern starts from left to the right, again comes to the left and it goes to the right. So over here we covers entire content of our website. And the F content, if you see, first we see on the top to the left and down, which is a menu, and then we go to the right side, which is an header part, and coming to the again bottom from center we see our data, content and all many things. It's a perfect possible to use both Z and a F pattern page on the same website. For example, you might have a very clean home page that utilizes the Z pattern. However, when the user delivers deeper into the site, you might present much more data and use a F pattern instead. Z pattern hierarchy, the user sees the text light page and scans from the top left to the top right, then glance down through the content to the bottom left. Before moving to the bottom right, you can make use of the pattern by ensuring that you includes the most important information along the Z pattern. This eye movement follows. You will have 4 points joined by 3 lines going in a Z shape. Let's see F pattern. With the F pattern, users begin by scanning left to right along the top, but then scan down the left side of the page, looking for visual clue to the information they seek. When they find such a clue, they scan from left to right. They repeat this process until they reach the end of the page. This scanning pattern often produces a heat map that looks like the letter F as shown in the image in the article. Okay, now let's see what else all we had learned and let's conclude it. The most important thing is to organize the information in a way that the user will easily access and understand. The organize and prioritize content in the interface clearly for user designing. Apply a well-known technique called visual hierarchy. Use the data to answer the question the user has. By allowing the user to see the information in a way that is relevant to their goals, you will create more usable products. Its main goal is to present the content on the carrier, be it a book page or poster, web page or mobile screen, in such a way that user can understand the level of importance for each element. User defines the visual hierarchy of a website or app. The item that first grabs the eye attention is at the top of the hierarchy. Each item that next drawn attention is subordinate to the one before it. It activates the ability of the brain to distinguish objects on the basis of their physical difference, such as size, color, contrast, alignment, etc. This allows users to see where the need information is so that they could native easily. I hope you got to know what is organization information and how it is used. into the websites, mobiles, or in your daily life. So we know how to do this all things. Only you need to understand it. I hope you all had gone through well. Thanks for keeping a patience and going through the videos.